the only thing that Bass actually keeps is a navigator, and that way he can make sure that his queen does not doesn't die. And as you can see at this point, Bass is about to lose three more bases here, and Amy down here only has two. And of course, since Mathwiz has the outpost lead, Nojo and I decide that we are just going to give Mathwiz the outposts he needs to win the game. And so he launches here from Thunderbird, takes Hashimoto, Hey Guy, Roberts, and Sedna from me along with King down here, and he takes those away from me. And from Nojo, you can see here he goes to Boxlighter, Gandhi, Ahab, Ran, Mandela, and Seabass up there. And so this is where the game starts to wind down pretty much. You have Amy not really a threat or anything like that. And Bass has been, not Bass, Dark Rogue has been destroyed pretty adequately, and so he's just kind of doomed to wander through the seas here. And so, as this winds down, really, I just want to talk about a little bit more in depth with the conversations that we had with Dark Rogue. I talked a little bit about earlier how he's like, oh, it's being fun, it's being creative, it's being radical. At some point he said he created the game, so he had the right to do it. I don't remember who created the game. I couldn't tell you, maybe one of the other guys could. But he's just giving all these arguments as to why he can do this or why it's okay. Most of it is completely ridiculous. I didn't mention, but both when Bass and when Dark Rogue hired Specialist, I took the anchor emojis and I maxed out how many you could put Senate, and did that 5 to 10 times. Just, this really got under my skin. This was not something smart, not something that shows any skill at subterfuge, which was another a point I thought was ironic, because the game was called All Specialists. I'm good at talking. It was called All Skill, No Specialists, but two people used Specialist and had very little skill, which would be even funnier if Dark Rogue created it, because it just shows how little skill he had. And so he's just trying to defend everything he does. Of course, he does give them up at some point, but he still holds this idea that we were being boring, we were making the game less fun or something like that. And it just, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know what else to say about it. It's ridiculous. He joined the game and possibly created the game called All Skill, No Specialists. So why are you going to cheat and use the specialists, especially if you created it? And he joined it knowingly, even if he didn't create it. He knows, okay, no specialists. That title is pretty self-explanatory. But he feels that he has the right to hire these specialists. And you say, why are you going on about Dark Rogue? What about Bass? Well, Bass knew what he did was cheating. He admitted it. He sort of went silent. He said, I'm hiring specialists. Goodbye. And so he was gone. He knew he had cheated. So he left it at that and fought with what he could using the specialists. And he lost. And while I'm not saying what he did was a good thing, there's certainly better things to that than, no, I didn't do anything wrong, I'm being fun, I'm being creative, whatever you want to say. It's just, that's the worst thing I've ever heard. And at the end of the game, Math Whiz won, by the way. I took second, Nojo took third, Amy came in fourth, and Dark Rogue was fifth. Everyone else was eliminated or resigned. At the end of the game, Amy still had these 3 specialists sitting here. And Dark Rogue says, well, Amy has specialists, but it doesn't seem to be a problem with him. But when I had him, you guys were all over me. First of all, Amy wasn't that active. He just didn't get on that much. So he might not have even seen the specialist coming. I really don't know about that, but he didn't hire them. Dark Rogue did. Dark Rogue sent them to him. And he was like, oh yeah, Amy's cheating because look, there's specialists. I mean, if you want to get really technical, you're not allowed to hire specialists. So technically, we could have used those specialists because we didn't hire them. So it's just being more fun, right? You can probably even tell at this point that I'm not buying that at all, but whatever. He decides that Amy's a bad person too because Amy has specialists. And so the ridiculity, really, I think that's a word, of this situation, it's just, this is a terrible player. If any of you ever come in contact with him, just kill him. He's a cheater. Math Whiz was actually in another game with him, and I kind of feel bad for Math Whiz because Dark Rogue likes to run his mouth. And whenever he runs it, the most unintellectual things start to come out. And it makes no sense. At one point he said, oh, well, I gave up all my specialists, so I should be considered, I should get something for that. I deserve something. And I think that was when he was talking bad about Amy because he gifted him specialists. And you cheated. You should get a reward for cheating and then deciding that you didn't want to cheat because everybody hated you for it. How's that admirable? That, just don't talk to this player. Just kill him. Because when he starts talking, he got me mad every time. He really did. He would say something, and it would be the most ridiculous thing ever. It would be wrong, and I hated it. It was not fun to play with this player. He already had a toxic medal, which doesn't surprise me one bit. If medals meant a little bit more, I feel like I'd probably attach one to his name. But everyone here is on the forums anyway, so this is my unofficial toxic medal for Dark Rogue 98. I really would say kill this guy if you ever meet him in a game, because he has no honor. And I was talking to Tsukiku a little bit. She was kind of mad, well, pretty mad, I'd say, that Nojo and I attacked her, but I was still able to talk to her a little after the game. And I kind of said, thank you for going down honorably. I just wish you wouldn't have passed off everything to Dark Rogue because he's a terrible player. And I tried to get her to talk him out of it, and maybe she did something because obviously he did give them up. But she seemed to take his side at one point. She was like, you guys just seem like meme players. He asked not to be eliminated. And, okay, I mean, first of all, move your queen. It's not your last base at this point. But this is subterfuge. You're gonna get eliminated sometimes. I don't know. I've played like 17 games. I'm L1. I think I've been eliminated once from my own stupidity, because I check a lot. But in a domination game like this, especially when there's 3 power players, I think the base count on a map like this is 100. And so you can't split 100 3 ways and have it be up to 50. So obviously most of the non-dominant players are gonna get taken out. And that's just kind of something you have to deal with, you know. You can't just say, well, I'm not gonna get eliminated. I can just ask for elimination, and that should be my way out. But Tsukiko, she was kind of siding with him there, saying, well, he asked not to be eliminated. You could have done something nice for him. It's not like it's the last base that one of you guys needs. But I mean, that's just, I didn't really try to explain it to her. I didn't really want to. But it's just that I don't think she really understood it because she was talking to Dark Rogue. But whatever. That's just what happened. I suppose I'll paste on any more comments. I'm about to go back through all the texts we had and see if there's any particularly hilarious ones that I want to talk about, but I think I mostly covered it just with his. I mean, the bottom line was, he would not admit he was a cheater. We would use the word cheater, and he would say, "No, I'm being fun. I'm being creative. It's radical." At one point, I do remember this specifically. He said, "It's not like I've ruined anyone else's fun," and I said, "Yeah, you have. I'm having significantly less fun since you did this." And Nojo agreed with that, and I believe that was the point where he said, "Fine, I'll give away my specialists." And so, I mean, that's just the bottom line, that he would not admit what he was doing was wrong. He had no honor or integrity at all, and just all around an unpleasant player to play with. Yeah, just kill him if you see him in a game. And thanks for watching this video, I guess. Hopefully I can be making some more on maybe my past games, or if I have some interesting future games, I might mess with that a little bit. But yeah, I guess I'll see you next time if I make more videos.